All right.
God, that was so awesome.
Yeah. What a fantastic intro by our very own Dazzle.
I mean, the garage band does all the work for me.
You're not supposed to give away your secrets.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like fucking Daft Punk doesn't come out and like they're just MacBooks. If you just press the buttons. I mean, that's a mixture of German. I think they're French. That's as close to German and French.
I don't know.
It's like guide to Saint George de Montpelcris.
You know what I think is funny about them,
Hmm.
or what? I like the gimmick of wearing masks.
Sure.
Because then they could walk around and mingle through the public and not have to worry.
Like ICP. No, nobody knows what they look like. Actually, they do. They have. Recently, there are pictures of them without their.
I thought they kept the makeup on 24/7.
Actually, no. Did you know that ICP is Daft Punk?
No, I didn't know that.
See, you wouldn't know.
It's crazy.
You wouldn't know. Weirdly, it's actually two skinny guys, and Violent J puts fat suit on. He's not Daft Punk. He's just normally really skinny.
Because I was just gonna bring that up. Violent J is a little heavier.
No, that's part of the gag, part of the gimmick.
He reminds me of that guy that was in Butterfly Effect,
which I haven't seen.
Oh, never mind.
So this conversation is
it's over.
Dead on arrival. Fantastic.
So this is episode Tre.
Zwei. No, zwei is two. Drei.
It is I don't know, it was probably officially Spooktober a couple weeks ago, but it's getting closer.
The fuck is Spooktober?
Spooktober. Halloween, man.
Oh yeah, I know what October is and I know what Halloween is, but I don't know what the fuck Spooktober is.
It's actually Cocktober.
Well, here.
Yes.
In these four blanket clad walls, it is always Cocktober.
But yeah, it's Halloween is coming ever closer. Do you have any Halloween plans?
No. I'm gonna stay at home and do nothing. Because like I don't get any trick or treaters.
No?
None. Not a single one.
Crazy.
I think 2 years ago when I moved in, we might have gotten one. And then last year we got absolutely zero. So we get no trick-or-treaters.
I wonder if it's because of the location.
It's
like
weird.
Not a lot of people are going to be walking down the side of this busy street.
Yeah, I know, but there's a ton of kids in the neighborhood.
Really? This feels like an old person
retirement
community.
There's no middle ground. You're either young children or you're 85.
Yeah.
Either way, you're in diapers. But there's no middle ground. There's actually the association charges a non-diaper wearer's fee. For anyone between the ages of, like 6 and 86.
Your association is very strict.
I fucking hate my association, but we don't have to get into that. I cannot stand them.
After this, are we going to hang up some decorations?
All along my genitals. Yeah, you hang up the ye old jingle balls.
I like
it.
it.
Shit, that's in a month or 2. Or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I already see people trying to put out Christmas decorations
which is against the rules of my association.
Yeah,
funny enough. But yes,
I think you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want.
No, it's the outside of the property. Their responsibility for the beautification of the entire neighborhood.
So if you wanted, not that I would, but if you wanted to hang a Confederate flag, would they fine you? Because if they do, then if you put up an American flag, they should fine you. You know what? I'm not saying both are equal, by the way.
No, I'm pretty sure I can put up whatever flag I want. Because now that I think about it, there are flags. People have
Sox flags.
Yeah, the guy next door has a
Green Bay
a
flags.
Nebraska flag. No,
yeah.
that's the Green Bay's fineable.
Okay, Green Bay's fineable.
Yeah,
but I think that's an interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can put up a Confederate flag if you wanted to. Not that I want to.
I bet you they'd write you a letter.
I bet you I would
take it down.
I would hear about it.
Yeah,
but I don't think they could find me.
Dude, if enough people in your neighborhood write a letter or make a phone call, they'll make you take it down.
I'm sure they could do something. I'm sure they could make me take it down, but I don't think they could find me.
God, isn't that some shit?
Well.
Like I don't agree with the flag, but I think you should I think you should be able to do whatever you want to the property that you own or are paying to own.
Yeah, I just think it's their argument with that is like, yeah, but the outside, the visible parts are under their
You don't
dominion.
see my car's financial department come and inspecting my car and make sure I don't have any weird decals on it or anything. I mean, it's the same thing.
I agree with you. I think we started this by saying I fucking hate my association and that they're the worst. So, now that we've covered that, you like that?
Yeah.
I wrote a single thing on the ye old R&D note document to talk about today, and it's something that has plagued me for a long time, at least until since these news articles have come out saying not to do this. But flushing the toilet with the seat up. It's apparently it's bad. It's a health thing. They say, especially when one makes a number 2 in the toilet, that when you flush it with the seat up, all sorts of poo germs and poo particles fly everywhere.
Are we talking about the top lid? Or are we talking about the seat part?
Either one. Well,
because why would you flush?
I don't shit in the toilet with the seat up. That would be weird.
But then, I only ask because if it's okay, it's the lid. We're talking about the closing lid.
Toilet seat lid.
So what you're proposing is after every shit, you close the lid.
No. What I am saying is science and articles and people who should mind their own fucking business have impressed it upon me that it is a bad idea to flush a poo-filled toilet with the lid up. Seat down, lid up. That's the way my shit flies out.
Sure.
Yeah, so they have impressed that it is a bad thing because little poo germs and poo particles with the rustling of the water, it will fountain them and mushroom cloud the poo into the air and gets the poo germs all over the bathroom.
Okay.
So that's the assertion. My problem is my shits are generally too large to the point where they're always on the border of, is this all going to go down with one flush?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to keep the lid up so I can look and make sure everything goes down. Because I'm going to sit there and flush it with the lid closed and play the waiting game with myself. Mm-hmm. Like what's behind door number 3. And then I have to lift it back up. And
after doing a number 2?
After doing a number 2, exactly. Damn it, I should have said what's behind door number 2. That's why you're here.
Lost opportunity. Rewind.
That's why we have a good symbiotic relationship. But like I like to make sure that all the poo is gone, and waiting, it just it takes more time out of my day.
You know what the solution is?
Poop in the sink?
Close.
Okay.
Close.
Go on.
The bathtub.
Oh yeah, that's been the solution to most of my problems for a long time.
Curtain closed.
Yeah.
Shit in the bathtub.
Curtain open. I don't care.
But
it's
then
my house.
But then
the association doesn't get to determine where I shit within these walls.
No, because then the poo germs won't spray out. They'll be confined in that area.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the perfect solution to me.
Shit in the tub.
Shit in the tub.
And get like the Kramer style.
The drain.
The garbage disposal.
Yeah. Oh,
get the garbage disposal in there so it can mash. Because I don't want to like push it down and have it gurgling through my toes.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I'm okay with it.
I mean, I could, but.
And then you could just shit while you take a shower.
Well, that's long been the you're having a rough day. You got an extra bad case of the tornado squirts. You just sit in the tub, let some warm water run over your abdomen, your bowels, and just let it fly.
Well, I hope it's not going over my bowels.
Well, over the outside, the bowel cover.
Okay.
My body is just a cover for my bowels at this point. They're so stretched out and estranged and abused. My body just keeps all the bowels in. That's all it's for.
Where's the weirdest place you've ever taken a shit?
As an adult, or just ever?
I mean, I think as children we're offered some sort of leeway there, but both.
So the weirdest place that comes to mind when I was, I don't know, probably about 10, 12 years old, something like that. It was in an alley, which people around here aren't familiar with what alleys are because there are no such thing as blocks around here. There's just squiggly roads. But alleys are a space between the sets of houses in a given block. Anyway, there was like a standpipe in an alley that came up to like just above the cement in the alley or the asphalt in the alley. So it was about 4 inches raised up, and it was just a perfectly round
Shithole.
sized shithole. And I just saw that. It was in the middle of the day, in the summer. Like, man, I'm out playing with my friends. I gotta take a shit, but I don't want to go all the way home. Like, there's this pipe over here.
You're probably not the first person to take a shit in that pipe.
No one's looking. See, what I didn't think about is
wiping.
Yeah, exactly. So I took the shit, and it was great. And then I wiped with my underwear and threw them in the garbage can that was right nearby. Because that was my only option.
The logic is sound.
Yeah, it was great. And then I was just freeballing the rest of the day. I mean, really, it was a win-win.
Yeah. And
shit in the alley and didn't have to wear underwear. So.
You did a lot of growing up that day.
Boy, let me tell you, it hits you all at once. Before you know it, you're a man.
Yeah.
Shitting in an alley.
How old were you again?
I was like 10, 12, something like that. In that area.
I mean, there's a big difference between 10 and 12. I'm hoping it was closer to the 10.
One of those ages I hadn't shit in an alley yet, and the other one I did.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm not embarrassed. I just don't. I honestly don't remember.
Oh, all right.
And then as an adult, I don't think I've shit in airplanes, like in the desired receptacle for it. But
that's not weird.
I shit in the Punta Cana airport. Again in a toilet, not anywhere weird. Yeah, I haven't. I almost shit my pants when I was on a boat once. Like we were in the water. Like it was a pontoon boat we had rented, and we were in the water for a while, and I kind of felt the gurgles, and it wasn't good. I'm like, I mean, I know I'm gonna have to shit later, whatever. And then a couple hours go by, and we're about to go, and I am vibrating. My whole body is shaking. I have to tell people to shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I can't hear sounds. I can't. All of the brain power and control that I have is currently focused on not shitting myself. And so I did end up being able to hold it. And then it was like 12 straight hours of bowel sickness. Like there was something wrong with me. But the other option was jump back in the lake and shit in the lake, but I didn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I had a very similar situation when I was younger.
With a standpipe?
No, not a pipe, but it was. Let me see. How old was I? Because I know how old I was if I calculate. Because I moved around that time, so I had to.
Was it because of where you shit that you had to move? Like, did you shit in the baptismal font at your local parish?
No.
Okay.
I wish that would have been.
Because I could see them being like, "You got to move now."
Yeah.
Like you can't have this kid. Shits in the baptismal font.
I was 8 because it was around 3rd grade, and I played outside a lot. It was still the part of that generation where we could go outside and ride our bikes and stuff without. I mean, I'm not saying that things were safer back then, but I think we were less safer. We were less conscious of the weird. We didn't have a website where we could see all the sexual predators.
Yeah, that didn't exist yet. The internet really ruined childhood.
It did,
and saved it in a lot of ways, but also ruined it.
But I was at a park, and now I lived kind of near my school at the time, and it was within walking distance of my grammar school, and they had a baseball field, like the worst baseball field you've ever seen. Yeah. And so I'm playing, and I played with my friends, and then they most of them
went
had
home
left
to take a shit.
Went home, and there was even though I lived so close, I had to go. It was bad, and so I shit behind the bleachers of the baseball diamond, just right there in the ground. And then I created a little poop hole and kind of
tried to bury it.
Yeah,
like a cat.
Yeah, like a cat. And then I kind of kicked it in, and then kind of covered it and patted it down, sure. And
that's just fertilizer. Once the poop is below ground level, it's fertilizer.
Yeah, and I'm doing God's work there,
Obviously.
But after that, I didn't have as much of a wiping situation. This was more of a just a clean.
It was
clean
a dry
poop.
run,
yeah,
so to speak.
So but a half hour later, I was still playing and I got the itchy asshole. So
Yeah, that'll happen.
that was my alarm to go home.
Gotta go home.
Gotta go home and
Gotta go.
scrub this out.
Hey man, you had an extra half hour.
I did,
and that's what it was all about.
Yeah, I got that extra half hour of I don't know if we were playing tag or if we were playing. I don't remember. It was not important.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I had gallbladder surgery a couple years ago, and ever since I had that surgery, nothing has been the same. Everything has changed in me. And I don't know if it's because I have too much stomach acid or because it's not being regulated or whatever the case is. If I eat foods that are, high in fat or, high in oils and things like that, dairy,
So all the best things.
all the good things. Tornadoes.
Yes.
Tornadoes. Come on now. But after I eat, a few hours later, it'll hit me, and I've run into more situations where I've almost shit my pants than I would like to admit. I mean, and it's and they're like, we're talking borderline. Like, I get to the bathroom and my ass isn't even on the seat, and it's just, So the one of the situations was I was laying in bed. This was very recent. I'm laying in bed and I was like, oh my God, I have to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't even get up. It was my mistake. I tried to let out a little test fart.
Oh yeah, never.
I tried to let out a little test fart.
You trusted a fart.
Just to see if it was gas or if I had to go to the bathroom.
Spoiler alert.
And yeah, spoiler alert. It looked like a melted Dove bar on my bed. Like, it was just, I could just imagine it just
a fudgesicle.
Yeah, it was, and then I had to
burn the house down.
Yeah, and had to move.
Burn the house down and move.
Yeah,
Start over.
Wash the sheets, wash the bedding. I had to
wash yourself.
Wash myself. Take a shower. Well, I went and I finished, and then I took a shower.
You finished in the bathtub.
Yes.
While the shower was
right.
Of course.
Full circle.
We've come full circle.
So yeah, it wasn't. I don't know if I would say it was weird, but it was definitely. I mean, it was definitely eye-opening.
Yeah, I would say.
So, yeah, that's my screensaver. How did we get on that from trick or treat?
Well, I wanted to talk about shitting with the lid up.
Oh, so did we come to a consensus that
I like to watch? I like to watch the poop go down, and it's not. I'm gonna just get rid of the pretense that it's all about making sure that it all goes down. It's just entertaining to watch the poop go down.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So, I like that. That's one of the bonuses, the pluses of pooping. But also, I like to make sure it's gone. Nobody likes a floater.
No.
Yeah. And I've had many turds that have survived a flush. Many. And I'm not talking about just messy. I'm talking about I've had a turd that was so solid and compact. It bridged the hole sideways and it survived 2 whole flushes and didn't move. I had to jiggle it with something.
Your hand.
Well, yeah. Something.
You had a clinger.
It was my hand.
Yeah, it was your hand.
Some people, so apparently it's like I have one mustache hair that's going vertical into my nose and it's making insane. Okay, so there's a thing that it's more common than not for people to have a poop knife.
What?
I am not kidding.
Hold on.
I will Google
poop knife.
Right
I gotta
now.
see this.
I swear to God.
There's no fucking way people have a poop knife.
I swear to God, people have poop knives. It's a thing.
I can't believe that.
I swear to God, it's a real thing. Somebody went on Reddit and posted that he just brought up like, hey, we have a poop knife, to cut the poop with, and people on Reddit went fucking ape shit, and they're like, what are you talking about? They basically had your reaction, like, what is a poop knife? You're full of shit. You're a liar. And then a bunch of other people chimed in, like, no, dude, we have a poop knife. Like, it's just, we have a poop knife. They just bring it in there and you chop up the weird poop.
You would have to have a chronic condition that would really call for a fucking poop knife.
I'm serious. So here's the post. It says, my family poops big. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's our diet, but everyone births giant logs of crap. If anyone has laid a mega poop, you know that sometimes it won't flush. It lays across the hole in the bottom of the bowl, and the vortex of draining water merely gives it a spin as it mocks you. Growing up, this was a common enough occurrence our family had a poop knife. It was an old and rusty kitchen knife that hung on a nail in the laundry room.
Oh my God.
Used only to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through the hallway and have somebody call out, hey, can you get me the poop knife? I thought it was standard kit. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife.
I can't.
And then he finds out that, like, he's talking to somebody, and he's at somebody's house. He says, hey man, can you give me your poop knife? It's like, what? Yeah, man, your poop knife. He's like, what the fuck is a poop knife? And then, yeah, it's hilarity, and Google it. If you've never read this, obviously you haven't.
No.
Poop knife. It's a real thing. It's from earlier this year, actually. But
I can't figure out if that is brilliant or the worst thing I've ever heard of.
oh, here's your favorite. It's a BuzzFeed article.
Oh yeah, BuzzFeed. They're great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, they even have a GIF of somebody chainsawing a log in half. Oh, you missed it.
Somebody, what? Oh, that was just a little GIF.
Yeah, it was a GIF.
Okay.
Oh, and then I guess the plot twist is that somebody, the wife used the poop knife on, like, kitchen stuff. And that's how the guy found out. It's like, says, I told this to my wife last night, who was amused and horrified at the same time. Turns out she did not know what a poop knife was and been using the old rusty knife hanging in the utility closet as a basic utility knife. Thankfully, she didn't cook with it, but it was used to open Amazon boxes. She will be getting her own utility knife now.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah, that's... Pew, 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 pew. There you go. Mind's blown.
I can't. I mean,
I can't believe you didn't know about it. This is you we're talking about. How do you not know about something called a poop knife?
I'm a little upset actually, because the more I think about it, the more I think that
it makes perfect sense.
Maybe there should be some sort of utensil made specifically.
You ever seen a thing that they use to model clay with, that little wire triangle thing like that, but bigger?
Yeah.
So like a wire hanger that you bend into like a triangle. You could just get in there like a one prong whisk. You just the poop whisk.
Yeah.
Patent pending. Poop whisk.
I think that would
shit whisk.
Clearly, there's a market for it,
dude. And then shit whisk coming soon.
Shit whisk.
Product of R&D developments.
It's a schwisk.
Schwisk. Schwisk. Schwisk.
Oh man.
Billy Mays here.
Billy Mays here.
You're gonna love my schwisk.
I have this soundboard, and I just.
Well, yeah, you got to play with it.
I mean, I like that one. That wow.
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. There was a story that unless we have more poop to talk about.
I think I'm good on poop.
We're good
at the moment.
Okay.
I've got all my poop out.
Okay, we've covered the poop.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get into this a little bit. I'm gonna kind of read some stuff, get our opinions, and then
our juices. Our opinionated juices flowing.
Yeah, we'll start it, but then we're gonna take a little break. But so recent story in the news. This kind of I don't want this to be like an over. What's the word? I don't want this to be a theme on the podcast, but just because this subject matter is always in the news and it's always making headlines.
Is it Trump's mushroom penis?
No. It is.
Damn.
This is the Joe Rogan kind of going off about Fallon Fox.
I have no idea who.
So you
or
don't
what
know.
that
So
is.
let's talk a little bit about Fallon Fox. Fallon Fox is a transitioned from male to female MMA fighter.
Okay.
Fallon Fox
Wait,
was
who do they fight? Oh, I think you've told me about this. Do they fight men or women?
women.
Got it. Yeah, you've definitely told me about this.
And
I can already see where this
she
is going.
recently was in a fight. If her name escapes me, but he broke her skull.
Sure.
So now we have this. We have this situation where if you're a male and you transition into a woman, right? Biologically, you're still a man. But should you be allowed to fight other women? Should you be able to fight in the women's MMA class? Now, granted, she's he pulled up pictures. She's not that, but to me, she's feminine. To me, she has a lot of feminine features, but I think this goes genetically to just the amount of power that she generates.
Okay. So potential, I think the potential for a male's physiology, regardless of your external appearance and your transition and all of that, I think someone who was born a male, their physiology is very much different and has a lot more potential for, rapid muscle growth and strength and all of that. This person, Fallon Fox, I'm looking at a picture of her right now, is not even close to the most jacked female I've ever seen. So I don't think that this person has exceeded the potential of a female and crossed over into this is unrealistic. This is an outlier in the female MMA world. Other female fighters are more jacked and
yeah, but it's not about how jacked you are. That's not what it's about. It's about this was a female that lived 20, 30 years as a man, training as a man, fighting men, and is now fighting women. Like the physical composition of a male in terms of your hips, the torque, the force, the way your arms, your structure is completely different in a man than a woman. And I'm not saying one is more superior, but what I'm saying is that it's so different, so vastly different that clearly in this example, this man/woman, I will say it's a man because, she transitioned, but crushed a human skull. You don't see that happening in male versus male or female versus female. Like, I don't think Ronda Rousey's ever crushed someone's skull.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree that the potential is there for it to be a completely unfair fight. I just, because of this specific person's size and looking at them, I don't think they've crossed that line. I don't think this specific person has crossed that line.
I think maybe that is part of the problem as to why she's able to fight other women. Because if you take it at face value,
plus she's 42.
Yeah, and she fought somebody that was like way young. I would have to look.
That's what I'm saying though. I think it's more about the person who got their ass kicked than the person who did the ass kicking. Like, she's 42, she's 5'7". It's not like we're talking about a 6'4", 300-pound dude that becomes a female and is still 6'4" and 300 pounds. This person's 5'7", 144 pounds, and 42. Like, I didn't see the fight. I haven't seen previous fights of this person's, but I'm going to say, based just on the numbers, I'm going to say that that's either a fluke accident, or that person just didn't have a very good fight. The person who got their skull cracked.
Maybe. I think it's more of a, oh wait, is that it? Where is it?
What?
The Tamika Brents. Go down to the mixed martial arts record.
That's
No.
the no, that's from 2014.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't know. Are we allowed to play clips from other people's?
Probably, almost certainly not.
But it's news. It was Joe Rogan's take on the.
Is it on
thing.
YouTube or is it from
It's
his
YouTube?
Yeah, I think we can play YouTube.
All right, so I'll play a couple. It's 3 minutes.
I don't know about 3 minutes.
It's a little long. Next time I'll chop things up and get sound bites.
This none of this happened recently. This is from 2014.
Was it? I thought it was. I thought it was recently.
No, says Fallon Fox left Tamika Brents with a concussion, broken orbital, and 7 staples in her head. That's from 2014.
Oh, maybe
4 years ago.
Maybe I just saw it on the Reddits and stuff and figured it was new news.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. Or maybe there was another fight. Well, I thought it was very interesting.
No, it is. It's definitely an interesting debate, and I think it's one that's going to come up more, especially with like, well, the issue. I mean, if a female transitions to a male and like goes to play in the NFL, I think we're going to see the same argument just in the other direction.
Well, I was just going to say that. I was like, if we don't allow men to transition to female and compete in female athletics, then we shouldn't allow it for vice versa, right?
Right.
You can't have one without the other, because then you're clearly
saying.
saying.
My concern is, it's not even really concern. It's just my thoughts are, once that happens, I don't want there to be like a stigma against, if a female transitions to a male and then tries out for the NFL and then doesn't make it, like, I can imagine people saying something along the lines of like, well, it's because they're transphobic or whatever. And really it's just they may not have had the fastest time or the most, catches or the most yardage or whatever. And maybe they do, and they definitely, if they're, if they rank as well as or better than anybody that they're competing against, they absolutely should be drafted onto the team. But if not, I think sports in general should be based on performance rather than anything else, really.
You know what I think the difference is? I think the difference is that when you're looking at something like an MMA, you're looking at a, I don't want to say not skill, but I think it is much more likely that you take a less violent sport, just because men and women are so different when it comes to physical attributes and fighting. So I would say that it would be much more likely for a female to transition into a male and then play for the NFL or play for the NBA.
Sure.
In fact,
and I'm all for it.
I don't think they should have to transition.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah,
because now we're looking at women. I'm not saying that women can't compete with men on that level, but generally speaking, they can't.
Yeah, I mean,
any one female could beat any given male, right, at a sport, but not collectively.
Sure, I get what you're saying. The odds are in the male's favor for a lot of sports. What I would say is that, yeah, I think sports specifically should be based on performance and statistics and numbers. It shouldn't be based on anything else, really.
I would love to see.
Sure.
I hope I'm alive for the day that a female gets and you know what sport I think it'll start with? Baseball.
Really?
I think baseball will
be I guess baseball is the least contact
right
of a sport, unless you're sliding into home, but it's the least contact of any of the sports. So like your physical mass and size difference doesn't make it as big of a gap.
Sure. You could be a leadoff. You could be smaller, faster. You could be a base stealer. You could be a designated hitter. There's a lot of positions in baseball that it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female.
I think if the woman, if a female's can hit the ball and can run fast, I mean, like what else? What else you need?
That
You could throw the ball. Like, you don't have to be gigantic and jacked in
Right.
order to throw and to run.
and I think that there have been plenty of. I mean, half the male baseball players I see look out of shape to me.
Yeah.
You know.
You ever seen a picture of Babe Ruth?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Babe Ruth is a perfect example.
Drinking whiskey, smoking cigars at the plate.
Right.
Like-
So I think I foresee that being the sport. Someone coming in, playing shortstop or
Weirdly,
something like
well, I would say basketball is the closest to actually doing it because there's already a WNBA.
well, yeah, but there's like softball leagues and things like that that are close to baseball.
Yeah, but I would say WNBA is the closest to the NBA. Like, I would say that's the closest, female analogy to a male sport, professional sport that there is. Because softball and baseball you can't compare.
No, I was just saying that fast pitch softball in a women's league or college or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the same rules apply. The same skill set applies. It's just
Well, underhand pitching versus overhand
right.
pitching.
It's overhand, underhand, yada 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 yada. But I think that in terms of like WNBA and NBA, and I don't want to compare two sports because it's kind of apples and oranges. I think that the NBA is more of a nuanced sport than baseball, so I don't foresee females or even WNBA players jumping into the NBA. Like, it's just it's such a different. Because I've seen both. I've seen WNBA, I've seen NBA, and WNBA is, it's great. The women are great athletes. But the men outrank the women in almost every aspect. And I think it's also men are generally taller, men are generally.
That's what I was going to ask. I wondered what the average height in the WNBA versus the average height in the NBA was. I don't know.
Yeah, not to say there aren't tall women basketball players.
No, I just wondered what the average. I was curious.
But I think the average height is probably like under 6'1", under 6 foot. I think for women's WNBA players, but I could be wrong. I think that's pretty close, and I think the average height for a male basketball player is probably 6'4", 6'3", 6'4",
Probably.
6'5". How many highlight reels have you seen of a WNBA player dunking?
That's also a thought.
Not that dunking is the whole world.
No,
it's
a thing.
But it does kind of show the disparity in heights.
It's a measurement of like height. It's a measurement of vertical jumping ability and stuff like that. So I get it.
So I would say baseball, and I would love to see it. Or you know what? Football is possible. And I don't want to discredit females in any way, but there's plenty of positions on a football team that are more geared towards not so much contact, but speed and ball handling. You could have...
Well, especially with a lot of the rules now,
God.
you can't hit... I know, don't get me started, but you can't hit the quarterback anymore. You can't hit... you can barely hit receivers, ever. So there's not a lot of the, getting blindsided by a 300-pound dude anymore. It still happens, but it doesn't happen a lot anymore, especially the way the rules are now versus the way the rules were 15 years ago. It's sort of a different sport. They've gotten rid of a lot of the really fast collisions.
Yeah, it's
and entertainment value.
Well, yeah, they're so conscientious of brain damage and things like that.
I get it. But like you've taken apart. I don't remember if I know we've talked about this. I don't remember if we talked about it on the show or not. But we've talked about this. But they took one of the most entertaining parts of football, the special teams. Kickoff return, stuff like that, punt return. They've taken that and they've fucking destroyed it. Like 90% of all kickoffs now are touchbacks.
Yeah,
because they moved.
They moved it.
They moved it up 5 yards, and it's such a.
And,
it was one of the most entertaining parts, and now it's like go get a cup of coffee.
Isn't it funny how 5 yards will change something?
Yeah.
It's the
It's
difference.
almost like it was one way for 75 years, and people learned how to play the game that way, and then they changed it one day, and it's more than 75 years, but it's almost like it was, where it was for a fucking reason.
Well, I know why they did it, and
yeah, they wanted to avoid they wanted more touchbacks in order to avoid more like high-speed collisions of the returner and
because
the
you've got
defenseman.
people running from end to end,
Yeah,
getting up to like 15, 20 miles an hour and just wham.
Yeah, and that's awesome to watch.
It is. I agree.
It's like if they took NASCAR and they're like, well, we have to make the speed limit 85 miles an hour because we can't have any more of these, 15-car pileups and wheels flying out and body parts. And I mean, I don't watch NASCAR. I assume that's what it is. But one of the most entertaining parts about it, or like, if they took boxing and they're like, yeah, no more headshots, no more punches to the face, body only.
Oh, this didn't work. I don't know why I hit the wrong one.
So that was Dazzle's recording from a recent NASCAR event that he went to.
I wanted to click on the other one, but anyway, NASCAR is a different, little bit of a different sport. I think that even though we all want to see that crash,
I know. I'm just making an analogy.
But I don't think people watch it for the crashes.
No, it's the left turns. That's what really does it for him.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna watch you make 500 left turns.
Let me give it to you this way. If they were all controlled by AI, would you still watch it for the crashes?
If they told me what time the crashes were going to be, I would watch it. Yeah.
Even if there was nobody piloting the cars.
I know fireworks are going to blow up, but I go watch them
because
it's entertaining.
You watch it for the explosions. And
I don't watch NASCAR. But
well, if
I knew what time the explosions were going to be, I would absolutely tune in.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think they could increase their revenue base, their advertising, their fan base, everything. If they just told people, like, we're going to have a scheduled crash at this time, and this time. So, feel free to tune in. We're going to have an ad before, an ad afterwards. And...
Remember when Evel Knievel used to come out during, like, halftime and stuff like that and didn't jump through a flaming ring of fire?
And it's cool to watch him succeed. It was also cool to watch him crash.
Yeah, what was the other one? There was another Evel Knievel type. Something Dave.
Diamond Dave?
No, it was something Dave. I'll have to look it up. He had his own cartoon. He had his own show.
Sounds like he got the marketing right, where Evel Knievel never did.
He might have been like a related
Dave Knievel?
Dave Daredevil.
Well,
Super Dave.
Super
Dave Osborne.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if he was an actual Daredevil, though, was he? I just know he had a cartoon where he did some crazy stuff. But anyways.
Like, if like some people really fuck their shit up every once in a while in ballet, I'd watch them.
Like broke a femur or something?
Like crashed into each other or fell off stage or...
Threw someone off the stage?
It's kind of like, I want to see the failed Cirque du Soleil auditions. I want to see the people that did like the flip 40 feet in the air and landed on their fucking skull.
That's another good one. That's another good point of view, because whenever I watch something like Cirque du Soleil, or the people jumping on the high wire circus acts, I mean, yeah, they're great and they look like they're take a lot of skill, but I'm looking for someone to fall from the fucking rafters.
They wouldn't. Trapeze is only cool because it's 100 feet in the air.
Take that fucking net away.
Yeah, if trapeze was 10 feet in the air, I'd be like, that's cool, but
yeah,
he's probably not gonna die.
No,
yeah. I don't know. I think it's just this sick inborn thing humans have, where it's like you're covering your face, but you're splitting your fingers so you can. You're like, I don't want to see this terrible shit happen, but I'm kind of do.
Anytime you drive by like a fucking car on fire on the expressway, I mean, you hope everybody's okay, but you kind of want to see that charcoal body.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
It's like The Faces of Death. Did you ever watch those?
Oh God,
Oh,
I remember that back in the day.
so good.
It was
Me and my sister used to watch shit like that all the time.
back
We
in
were
the
probably
day.
way too young.
I
too.
think most anyone is too young.
You know what my favorite one is?
I'm
gonna tell
I
you.
don't know.
So there was one where there was like a hostage situation at a bank.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a bank, but it's irrelevant.
Sperm bank.
Well, of course. Hold up a sperm bank.
I want all today's deposits.
Oh my god, that's funny. And he's had a hostage at gunpoint, and one of the snipers, basically blew off half his head,
Sure.
and it was just,
Was the important half?
it was the most gruesome thing.
You have the biggest smile on your face.
I know.
and I don't know why.
Because it was so great. like there's so many great things about that. Justice was served. He got his face blown open. I got to see it. The hostage was safe. All of these things are just it was karma. It's like you like to see bad people get what's coming to them.
There's no there isn't quite as satisfying an implementer of instant karma as a high caliber bullet going through somebody's
just
fucking
right in the
face.
fucking cheek. Like you could see
Ugh.
his occipital and like the side of his nose just the skin just exploded from his face. It was, he didn't even have enough time from the shot to kill the hostage. It was just
I think that was
instantaneous.
That's the
Well, I
point.
know, but you know, when you see so many situations that are close to that in like movies and things like that,
Yeah.
and then you see it in real life, and they're just like, take him out, bam, just fucking. She's half of her face that was facing him is just covered in material,
I'm sure.
brain,
Ex robber.
and I was just I've seen animals shot before, and I've seen, you know, obviously in the movies, but it's nothing when you see someone get shot in the head for real. I've also seen a lot of, because I studying criminal law, I got to see a lot of crime scene stuff, and but nothing like I've seen the aftermath, but never the before, like the act of. It was pretty.
So yeah. So you've seen the still image, but not necessarily the
Not necessarily live.
right.
Someone getting blasted in the face. All right, guys. That concludes episode 3 of the podcast. So make sure you do the like-insies and the subscribe-insies.
So there's been a lot of developments since episode 2 and now. A lot of developments since episode 1 and now. So we are on iTunes, under the Razzle Dazzle Show. We are on Spotify, under the Razzle Dazzle Show. We are on Pod Paradise, under the Razzle Dazzle Show. We are available on YouTube, under the Razzle Dazzle Show. And we are on Twitter, at Razzle Dazzle, RazzleDazzle. So we are all over the place. If you're not listening to us, it's because you're actively fucking avoiding us, and we know about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, on that note, I will let Dazzle play us out.
All right. Bye, guys.
Adios.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.